and welcome to my next video for the Medway Property blog. My name is Spencer Fortag. I'm the author of the blog, and that can be found at www.medwaypropertyblog.com. Now, even property people have the occasional downtime, and it was whilst reading the Sunday paper's financial pages that my attention was drawn to an article which announced that UK inflation had increased to its highest level in a year. Inflation, as calculated by the government's Consumer Prices Index, rose by 0.3% over the last 12 months. The report said it had risen to those heady levels by smaller falls in supermarket and petrol prices than a year ago. If you recall, in early 2015, we had deflation where prices were actually dropping. So what does this mean for the Medway property market, and especially the tenants? Back in November, the Office of National Statistics stated average wages rose only by 1.8% year on year. So when adjusted for inflation, Medway people are 1.5% better off in real terms. Great news for homeowners, as their mortgage rates are at their lowest ever levels and their spending power is increasing. But the news is not so good for tenants. The average rent that Medway tenants have to pay for their private rental properties in Medway, so not including housing association or council tenants, rose by 2.9% throughout 2015, eating into most of the growth. 2015 wasn't a one-off either. In 2014, rents in Medway rose by 2.2%, where salaries rose only by 0.2%. However, it's not all bad news for Medway tenants, because in 2013 rents rose by 1.8%, but salaries rose by 2.2%. It must also be noted that the private rents Medway tenants have had to pay for their Medway properties since 2005 are only 20% higher, not even keeping up with inflation, which, over the same time frame, rose at 27.8%, although salaries were only 22.3% higher over the same time period. More and more, I'm talking to 20 and 30-somethings who rent and want to rent. It's their choice. Gone are the days where owning your own property was a guaranteed path to wealth, affluence and prosperity. I know I keep mentioning Europe in my blog, but some of the highest levels of home ownership are in Romania at just over 96%, Hungary at just over 88%, and Latvia at almost 81%. Now we all know that none of them are European economic dynamos, and even West European countries like Spain at almost 80% and Greece at 74%. And we know that both of these countries are on their knees, riddled with national debt and massive youth unemployment. At the other end of the scale, whilst we in the UK stand at almost 65% home ownership, in Europe's powerhouses, only just over 52% of Germans own a home, and only 44% of Swiss people are homeowners. Looks like eating chocolate, sauerkraut, renting and good economic performance go hand in hand. Yet, joking aside, home ownership has not always been the rule in the UK. In fact, in 1918, only 23% of people were homeowners, with no council housing, meaning that in fact, 77% of people were tenants. Tenants have choice, flexibility to move, and they don't face massive bills when the boiler blows up. Medway rents are growing, but not as much as incomes. To buy or not to buy is an enormously difficult decision. For while buying a Medway home is a dream for the majority of the 20 and 30-somethings of Medway, it might not leave them better off in the long run, and it isn't necessarily the best option for everyone. That is why demand for renting is only going in one direction, and that is upwards. I can be contacted via email, spencer@docksidekent.com. Please view my blogs at www.medwaypropertyblog.com. As ever, thanks for watching my thoughts, and more videos will follow soon.